Hey guys, happy Friday. It's read aloud time, spring according to Humphrey. We're in the middle of chapter 11 and room 26 has decided that they're going to do animal acts for the family circus night or family fun night. And everyone's really excited. The classmates do want Og and Humphrey to be able to come. So I think Mrs. Brisbane's going to have to speak with the principal and see what she can do. All right, let's keep reading. There were cheers and applause. Mrs. Brisbane wasn't finished. Since we're getting ready for family fun night, I have an assignment that has to do with families and how they grow. She asked Holly to pass around sheets of paper. We're all going to make family trees, she said. A family tree shows the people who live in your family now. And it also shows your relatives from the past. You're going to build yours branch by branch. I was confused. I may not remember my family, but I'm pretty sure they didn't grow on trees, and neither do human families. To start with, for your homework tonight, I want you to write your name at the bottom of the tree. There's a space for it, she continued. And then, on the lowest branch, write the name of your mother on the right side and your father on the left side. Holly raised her hand. You mean Janet and Steve? Those are my parents' names. They're full names, including your mother's maiden name, Mrs. Brisbane replied. That's her last name from when she was a girl. Some moms keep their last name and some take their husband's. Daniel frowned. I have no idea what my mom's maiden name is. Ask her, our teacher said. Then I want you to draw apples hanging from the tree to show your brothers and sisters, if you have any. Write their names in the apples. Sophie was already at work. Timothy, she said as she wrote on her paper. Mrs. Brisbane, I have a half-sister, Nicole said. A half-sister? I'd never heard of such a thing. Which half was she? My mom and dad got divorced, she continued. My mom married my stepdad and they had my sister. Where do I put her? Oh, so that's what a half-sister is. Make an apple on the tree for her. All kinds of sisters and brothers should be included, Mrs. Brisbane said. You don't have to do it now. Bring it in tomorrow. As usual, I didn't get a sheet, so I wasn't sure what a family tree looked like or why brothers and sisters were apples. My friends raced out of the room, but Thomas hung back with a worried look on his face. Mrs. Brisbane, he said, when all of the students were gone, I don't know what to put on my tree because I'm adopted. That doesn't make any difference, she said. Do you live with someone that you call mom or dad? Thomas nodded. Both. And do you love them and they love you back, she asked. Thomas nodded again. Then those are your parents. Mrs. Brisbane said, the people who love you and take care of you. Write their names on the family tree. Okay, Thomas said. I wasn't sure what that was all about, so I hopped on my wheel for a good long spin to try and figure things out. After my spin, I crawled into my sleeping hut, and by the time I woke up, it was dark outside. It was too late to visit Gigi, even though I wanted to tell her about our family fun night plans. Og was quiet, so I sat and waited for Aldo to arrive. I was eager to see what he thought of the tadpoles. They were quiet too. Suddenly, the door opened and the lights came on. Greetings, Aldo, I squeaked. After all, I hadn't seen my friend for more than a week. I was shocked to see that the person pulling his cleaning cart into room 26 wasn't Aldo at all. It was a complete stranger. You're not Aldo, I squeaked. Boing, boing, Og chimed in. The tadpoles didn't make a sound, of course. The stranger was much shorter than Aldo, and he didn't have that nice furry mustache that Aldo has, but he did have rusty-colored hair and a rusty-colored beard to match. He pulled in the cart and looked around the room. Nice and neat, he said. That was true. Mrs. Brisbane's room was always nice and always neat. Then he saw our table by the windowsill. Oh, he said, Aldo left me a note about you. As he walked toward our table, I squeaked, "Where is Aldo, and who are you?" He fumbled around in his pocket and pulled out a carrot stick. "Aldo told me to give the hamster a treat. I guess that's you." "Of course it's me," I squeaked. "Does anyone else around here look like a hamster?" He pushed the carrot stick between the bars of my cage. "Thank you," I said, even though I had no idea who this person was. The man scratched his head and looked around. He said to give the frog something. Luckily, he spotted the jar of froggy fish sticks. "Ah," he said. He opened the jar, took out a few sticks, and threw them into Og's tank. "Boing, boing," my froggy friend said. The man scratched his head again, and as he stared at the tadpoles, "He didn't tell me what to do about you." He leaned in closer to look at them. "Whatever you are." I understood his confusion. "Who are you?" I squeaked. "Sorry, I don't know the ropes," the man said. "I'm just filling in for Aldo. His wife had twins, a boy and a girl." "Yay, yay, yay," I squeaked. "Didn't you hear that, Og?" "Boing, boing, boing," Og replied. The man smiled. "Aldo said you guys have a lot of personality." Aldo has a lot of personality too. I tried to picture a baby girl who looked like his wife Maria and a son who looked like Aldo. Did he have a mustache like his dad? The man took his broom and began to sweep the floor. He didn't do the funny things Aldo did, like balancing a broom on one finger, but he swept and dusted, straightened the tables, and worked very hard. "I'm telling you, even if you can't understand me, I really need this job," he said. "But it's Aldo's job," I squeaked. I was happy when Og agreed. Boing, boing. He's about to graduate from college, and if he gets a teaching job, I hope I can move up to being a full-time custodian, he said. Right now, I just fill in when someone else can't make it. He stopped talking, but I kept listening. After a while, he spoke again. "I have a wife and kids too," he said. "The store where I worked closed down, and I've only been able to find part-time work." He stopped and looked over at us. "Hey, why am I talking to a hamster and a frog?" "Because we're listening," I squeaked. "Boing," Og said. The room looked fresh and shiny as the man stopped and leaned on his broom. "I'd do anything to get this job," he said, "as long as Aldo has a better job. He's a good guy." "The best, best, best," I agreed. The man was finished, but as he pulled his cart toward the door, he said, "My name is Bob, and I hope I see you again." He switched off the light, and I sat there in the dark for a long, long time. "Og, Aldo wants to be a teacher," I squeaked. "And I want what Aldo wants. But what will it be like when he's not here every night?" Og leaped into the water side of his tank and splashed around. "If Aldo can't be here every night, I hope Bob gets the job," I said. Then I moved toward the window and looked up at the moon. "I'll miss Aldo so much," I squeaked. "But Bob needs a job too, and he did give us treats." Boing, boing. I was glad that Og agreed with me. Humphrey's Spring Things. "I'm happy for Aldo, he's my friend, but I'd hate to see the good times end." That's the end of chapter 11. So Monday we'll get to start chapter 12. It's called Family Matters. We'll see what adventures happen next. All right, have a great day. Have a nice weekend. Bye-bye.